What's going on, folks? As you see by the title, we talking about President Trump commutes the sentence of Chicago gangster's disciple gang founder Larry Hoover. That's what we gonna talk about tonight, folks. Get in the chat, whatever you want to do. Let me know how you feel. I'm just not one of those stupid people that's just happy about anything. People out here happy. Oh, Larry Hoover. Larry Hoover is a gangbanger, right? But Larry Hoover is not the only person. President Donald Trump issued pardons Wednesday to former New York congressman and three-term Connecticut governor, part of a recent clemency spree that has been included reality TV stars and Virginia sheriff. Trump used his presidential discretion to grant clemency to former New York Rep. Michael Grimm, who pleaded guilty to tax evasion, and former Governor John Rowland, a once rising star in Republican politics, brought down in corruption scandal. Grimm served in Congress from 2011 to 2015, where he developed a reputation for his brash treatment of the media. The Republican's political career came to a halt when he pleaded guilty to aiding and assisting in the preparation of a false tax return and concealing more than $900,000 in gross income. He spent 7 months in prison and attempted a political comeback in 2018, losing in a GOP primary battle for his former New York district. Rowland, the governor of Connecticut from 1995 to 2004, was convicted in two separate federal criminal cases. The first spurred his resignation from the governor's mansion, and the second, he was sentenced to a 30-month prison term in 2015 for his illegal involvement in two congressional campaigns. The pardons coincide with the installation of Ed Martin as Justice Department new pardon attorney. Trump had nominated him to be U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia, but pulled the nomination in the face of Senate opposition in this confirmation. So, if he was appointed to be, and Trump pulled the nomination, how the fuck did he ended up getting the job? Rapper Kentrell Gladen, who goes by the moniker NBA Youngboy, announced on social media that he was also pardoned by Trump on Wednesday. So Trump is known for pardoning a whole bunch of white people, right? And he throw us a few bones by pardoning a few black people. And it be the worst black people. It don't be actually innocent black people. It be Lil Wayne, Kodak Black, all drug dealers. Like, he doesn't actually pardon people who deserve these pardons. He pardons people that's guilty as hell. And most of the time, they're guilty on crimes he's been accused of. But this one right here, this is the story that got the hood going crazy, because he pardoned Chicago gangster's disciple, gang founder,
the former lead prosecutor in Larry Hoover's federal case, reacting this afternoon with disappointment, telling us there are just some offenders and crimes that are not deserving of clemency, and Hoover falls in that category. But this afternoon, President Trump disagreeing, commuting Hoover's 6 life sentences on federal convictions to time served. Hoover still faces, however, a 200-year state sentence on a 1973 murder conviction, so it appears he won't be getting out of prison, at least in the near term. It was while behind bars serving time for that murder that federal prosecutors say he continued overseeing the Chicago Gangster Disciples, a gang that he co-founded. And in 1997, he was convicted of running a criminal enterprise. But Hoover's attorney says over the years, Hoover has been rehabilitated and written numerous letters talking about his experience, how he turned to crime, and the good he can do in steering young people away from a similar fate.
He is being held because he is a symbol, not because he needs further incarceration or he hasn't been rehabilitated. He's been a model prisoner for many, many years. He's been examined. He has been determined to be no risk.
If Larry Hoover said there was going to be a killing, there was a killing. If Larry Hoover said there was going to be a beating, there was a beating. If Larry Hoover said there was going to be a drug deal, there was a drug deal.
Hoover's case has drawn the attention of a number of advocates and public figures, including Chance the Rapper and Kanye West. Hoover is currently serving time in Colorado, but with that state sentence, he'll likely be moved at some point to a prison in Illinois.
So, there you have it. That's what's driving
Lead prosecutor.
Oh, Larry Hoover and rappers are going crazy, right? So my question to all you people, why do we get excited when they let these drug dealers out? Larry Hoover started the Gangster's Disciples. At one point, the Gangster's Disciples had 40, 50,000 members across 28 states. Do you understand the death that was dealt out through this gang? Right now, the murder rate in Chicago is through the roof. It's through the motherfucking roof. That's thanks to him. But we want to get excited because Trump gave him a pardon, but let's look at that pardon. This man was sentenced to 150 years to 200 years in state court. All Trump did was pardon his federal bid, which was a life sentence. He still got to serve that 150 and 200-year bid. Where the fuck you think he got left of that? He been in jail since what, 73? He got a lot of time left on that 200-year bid. Trump cannot pardon him, let him go free of that bid. And now he done pissed off the feds. You think the feds ain't gonna get with the state and say, man, nah, this nigga can't go. But let me give you some of his history. He was born November 30th, 1950. He's an American former gangster and street gang kingpin. He is the founder of the Gangster Disciples, a Chicago street gang, right? A gang that's still killing to this day. Chicago has hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of murders. This man ain't stopped not one. He's not reached out from prison and stopped no murders. He has not reached out from prison and got gangs together. But we're supposed to believe that he's this reformed guy, right? He's not nobody. He's a man in prison. He's not going to come out and save no lives. These young niggas ain't gonna listen to him. They don't even know who he is. He been in jail since 1973. So you think he's gonna come out and go to Chicago, right? And tell some kids that wasn't even born. He been in prison longer than they've been born. You think he's gonna change something in Chicago? No, he's not. And once again, I'm not mad that he got a pardon, but I'm saying to myself, are we wasting pardons? In my earlier video, I went over all the people that got pardons from the January 6th, the insurrection they call it, right? All them dudes was pedophiles. A lot of them dudes had penetrated 3-year-olds and 7-year-olds. There was one dude who beat his 3-year-old so bad his 3-year-old had problems sitting down, right? Trump is always doing shit. And I'm a supporter of Trump, but I'm not afraid to call out the shit I support. Trump is playing games with y'all, right? He let all these other people, all these white cricket people, he let Todd and Julie Chrisley, who started a TV show that ran for 10 seasons, they got caught cheating. They was trying to hide the money. They got caught. They pled guilty. He is wasting pardons on people who don't deserve it. But let's get back to who Hoover is. Hoover was serving 6 life sentences at the ADX Florence Prison Facility in Fremont County, Colorado. He was previously sentenced to 150 to 200 years for a 1973 murder. However, in 1997, following a 17-year investigation, he was convicted of conspiracy, extortion, money laundering, and running a continuing criminal enterprise from state prison and received another life term. He has made multiple attempts to have his sentence shortened. So, this man even after being in prison from 1973 to 1997, he was still committing crimes. He was still doing shit. Now, let's go. The American rapper and fellow Chicago native Kanye West has been a longtime advocate for Hoover's commutation. West urged President Donald Trump to do so at a televised White House event in 2018. The fuck? West has been a long time. The fuck, man? Starting to get that time of the year where you're seeing fucking bugs flying around. West urged President Donald Trump to do so at a televised White House event in 2018, hosted a free Larry Hoover benefit concert alongside Drake in late 2021, and referenced Hoover in songs such as Jesus Lord and River. In May 2025, President Donald Trump commuted Hoover's life sentence. Hoover must still serve his 150 to 200 year sentence for his 1973 murder conviction, but is eligible for parole on that charge since the crime was committed before Illinois abolished discretionary parole in 1978. He was denied parole in 2024, but his sentence was commuted by President Donald Trump in May 2025. So, as you can see, this man's serving 200 years. He got to do that bit. He got to do the 200 years. So everybody decided, oh, Donald Trump, free Larry Hoover. This man probably never be free. You think these white folks is going to give him parole? They had him locked up all this time for a motherfucking reason. They're not giving this man parole. Crime in Chicago is still up because of him. What are we not understanding? What about the people that's in prison, right? That actually really there because they didn't do nothing. They're actually there because someone said, yeah, I seen him, he did it, and he didn't do it. What about those people? Are we going to pardon those people? Are we going to get those people out of prison? But instead, we keep freeing drug dealers and murderers and people that stole millions of dollars. Man, put me in a position to steal $100. Fuck. Put a cash register. Let me steal $100. Like, god damn, I can't steal $100, but we got people stealing millions of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars, getting out because Trump is freeing them. Like, what is that doing for the community? How did the black community get better because he just gave a man a pardon that I still got to do 200 years? It's symbolic. But I asked all you people that, oh yeah, he love us. He pardoning these rappers. He's only doing that because when he start pardoning these cops that kill us, I'm gonna say that again. When he started pardoning these cops that kill us, know what he gonna say? Well, I pardon Larry Hoover. I pardon Kodak Black. I pardon Lil Wayne. I pardon NBA Youngboy. Let me show you an example of how these pardons don't mean shit. Larry Hoover started Gangster Disciples in 1973. NBA Youngboy is one of the most top streamed rappers right now, right? Between Larry Hoover and NBA Youngboy, they hurt the community and killed more niggas than the KKK. They hurt the community and killed more niggas than any police department in America. But guess what? Black folks is happy because we don't know no better. We don't know how to get up off the bottom of this goddamn totem pole and rise up. That's why America ain't never gonna be great for the black community, because this is the type of shit we care about. This is the type of shit we celebrating. Guys like this coming home. Guess what? He got a free pass to walk past people. He's not getting out, but he got a free pass to walk past people in that federal prison that's probably there that doesn't even need to be there. That shouldn't even be there. Hoover was born on November 30th, 1950 in Jackson, Mississippi. He moved to Chicago, Illinois at the age of 4. And at the age of 13, Hoover dropped out of junior high and joined a gang called the Supreme Gangsters. When he was involved in petty theft, when he was involved in petty theft and muggings. In 1968, Hoover was romantically involved with Wendy Jenkins, in whom he shares one of his 3 children. They were denied marriage by the Illinois Department of Corrections until January 9, 2020, when they were deemed legally married by the U.S. Department of Justice. Hoover was formerly associated with GDN Lieutenant A. Myron Taylor. He also involved himself in fighting cold cases about murders that are only now coming to light, also tied to the organization. In 1969, Hoover and David Barksdale called a truce and decided to combine both of their respective rival gangs, Supreme Gangsters and Black Disciples. Together, they became the Black Gangster Disciple Nation, BBC. In 1994, after the leader of the Black Disciples, David Barksdale, died of kidney failure stemming from injuries incurred in a 1970 assassination attempt, Hoover took over the reins of the Black Gangster Disciple Nation. He deemed himself the chairman of the crew at the time. The Disciples had control of Chicago's South Side turf. Under Hoover's rule, the Black Gangsters Disciples Nation took over a majority of the Chicago drug trade. While incarcerated in 1978, Hoover formed the Folk Nation, which added all gangs in his personal likeness and interests related to the BGDN, such as the Lady, Satan, Maniac Latin, Spanish Gangsters Disciples, Ambrose to the two Boys, Two Sixers, Simon City Royals, Northside Insane Popes, La Raza Nation, Spanish Cobras, Imperial Gangsters, Harrison Gents, and the Latin Eagles. The Folk Nation maintained their ground from within the prison property to ruffled streets. So, in prison, this man formed all these gangs. And if I'm correct, these gangbangers, they call it repping the 5. They all fall under the 5. I could be wrong. But as you can see, he brung Latin gangs under the umbrella. He brung Black gangs under the umbrella. And to this day, the Chicago streets ain't recovered. To this day, niggas is still dying. Hundreds is dying every year. But the Black community, we celebrate, yeah, Trump gave him a pardon. But this man probably never coming home. This man has a 200-year state sentence. And right now, people in Chicago is pretty pissed at Donald Trump. So, him getting parole anytime soon, I see that as something that's going to be hard to happen unless Donald Trump got some backroom deal with the politicians in Chicago. And once again, this man's been locked up since 1973. It's 2025. I'm not mad that he's getting out. But what I'm saying is there real people who didn't commit the type of crime and destruction in the Black community that could have got out? Is there someone who maybe actually didn't commit the crime, but some lady thought she seen him commit the crime and now he's in jail off of somebody's word who was wrong? Did they get passed up for pardons to let this thug out? Is that what we doing in America today? Is that what we doing? But let's get back. Let's see the destruction that this man created that we letting go. While Hoover was incarcerated, he ran the gang's explicit drug trade, both in prison and on the street, starting from Chicago's west side and later extended through the United States. Certain parts of the affiliated Folk Nation Alliance began to expand to parts of the United States Midwest. As of 2022, the Gangsters Disciples has confirmed expansions to Indianapolis, Kansas City, Minneapolis, Detroit, Milwaukee, Birmingham, Cincinnati, Memphis, and Hoover's birthplace of Jackson. The Folk Nation, including that of the Black Gangster Disciple Nation, also personified a rivalry with the People's Nation, which include other gangs such as Almighty Black Keystone Nation. run by Jeff Fort, who today shares the same prison facility as Hoover and is also a Mississippi-born native. Almighty Vice Lords, Latin Kings, Mickey Cobra, Southside Almighty, Insane Popes. The Southside faction were rivals with the Simon City Rivals, Satan's Disciples, 2 Sixers, causing them to splinter themselves from the Northside faction. Almighty Stinks and the Four Corner Hustlers. The Gangsters' Disciples also engaged in a city rabble with South Memphis crew, the Love and Murderer Gangsters, formerly LMG Mafia. So, this man did nothing but destruction in our community. Like, once again, I'm not knocking that he got this, but I'm just stating the fact that this man and the gangs that he formed has killed more niggas than white folks, killed more niggas than police departments across America together. They have killed more niggas than the KKK could ever have. But these are the people in our communities we celebrate. We celebrate all these drug dealers came home. Alpo, Prince out of New York, what's his name? Rayful Edmonds out of Chicago. The black community, we talk out of our ass, right? We want to be respected. We want better. But this is the type of people we celebrate. We ain't celebrating them little niggas that go to college. You know, we ain't celebrating them smart black motherfuckers that start these companies that we don't even hear about, we don't even know about, and we don't even care about, because we want to celebrate these drug dealers. We want to celebrate these people that dealt death in our communities. The fucking murder rate in Chicago is out of fucking control. In 1989, the Black Gangsters' Disciples began having leadership problems as they noticed Hoover's leadership of the Folk Nation Alliance deteriorated once he shifted his sole focus toward the now splintered Gangster Disciples. The decline of the BGD in leadership infuriated a majority of its members and resulted in 2 gangs separating into the aforementioned Gangster Disciples and the reincarnated Black Disciples. One instance of their split and later animosity was drug dealing dispute in the Inglewood neighborhood of Chicago's South Side, which escalated into a shooting that killed several people. By early 1993, Hoover claimed to have renounced his violent criminal past and became an urban political celebrity in Chicago. Hoover proclaimed that the GD initials had changed to mean growth and development. As of July 2022, Hoover confirms that he no longer affiliates with the Gangster's Disciple and wants no part of the gang whatsoever. He also claims that he was no longer the Larry Hoover people sometimes talk about or who was written about in the papers or the crime figure described by the government. Many people believe it was a rouse for his plan to have his sentence reduced or either way appealed. Ronnie Bowe, formerly known as National Spokesman for the Gangster's Disciple, has also officially denounced his association to the gang in a new song titled Digital Social Hour. So, you know, he's claiming he denounced the gang. You think if he was to get released and the gang members came to him giving him money, he not going to take it? You think he going to say, nah, I'm not down with y'all no more. I denounced that shit. No, he going to take that money. You know, let's see. 1973, legal history. On the evening of February 26, 1973, William Pookie Young, a 19-year-old neighborhood drug dealer, was abducted and shot dead in the alley near 68th Street and Union Ave in Inglewood, a neighborhood of the south side of Chicago. His killing was ordered by Hoover after his name was mentioned as one of the 3 people accused of stealing drugs and money from the gang 6 days earlier. Andrew Howard was arrested on March 16, 1973. While Hoover went into hiding in Chicago on September 21, 1973, Hoover was driving a stolen truck and was asked to stop for a traffic violation. He tried to run away from the scene but was arrested. The police also discovered that he was also wanted in William Young's murder. In October 73, Howard and Hoover were both indicted for murder, and in December, both were sentenced to 150 to 200 years in prison. Hoover was sent to Stateville Correctional Center in Chestnut Hill, Illinois, to serve out his term. In 1997, criminal enterprise division. While in prison during that 200 years, August 22, 1995, after 17-year undercover joint investigation by the Illinois Department of Corrections, Federal Bureau of Investigation, Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, Hoover was indicted for conspiracy, extortion, money laundering, drug-related offenses, and continued to engage in criminal enterprise. A lengthy federal investigation using wiretaps led to Hoover getting arrested. Prosecutors allege that his gang had 30,000 soldiers in 35 states and made $100 million a year. He was arrested at the Dixon Correctional Center by federal agents and moved to the Minneapolis Correctional Center in downtown Chicago to stand trial in 1997. Hoover was found guilty on all charges. He was sentenced to 3 additional life terms in federal prison. However, Hoover is currently serving his sentence at the ADX Florence in Fremont County, Colorado. So, this is the man we celebrate, and this man has brought more death to the black community than all the than all the KKK, all the police departments across America, just in Chicago. Let's start there. Just the murders every year since he been gone, 1973, all the way up until now. That's because of him. He started gangs back in 73, and then whenever there's a gang, there's an opposite gang. You feel what I'm saying? So he created all those murders just in Chicago, and he had other gangs. This shit was spread out. You got Gangsters Disciples everywhere now. And all those gangs, were the enemies or fall under, like the gangs now, the Bloods, the Crips, the Latin Kings. All those gangs fall under what this man created. But remember, I tell you, and I give you the truth over here. It's just symbolic. That's all it is. It's symbolic bullshit. Trump is tricking you. Yeah. I pardon Larry Hoover for you black folks. Yeah, man. NBA Youngboy and Lil Wayne, all rappers, all people that was able to probably give him some money in the back room, right? But like I said, he's about to start pardoning all the cops across America that's went to jail for killing black people and da. And he gonna tell you when you start complaining like, yo, Trump, you letting all these cops go, he gonna tell you to shut the fuck up. He gonna tell you to sit your ass down. Man, I freed Larry Hoover. It's not my fault he had 200 other years to do. Yeah, man, I freed Lil Wayne. I freed Kodak Black. It's not my fault he turned into a meth head. Hey, man, y'all niggas better sit down before I start reporting y'all. And let me tell you something else, right? Right now, him and his ICE team, they working on getting the immigrants out, right? Say you wake up tomorrow, there's no more immigrants. What the fuck you think ICE gonna do? They just gonna go away? That's what you think? They just gonna go away? They just got raises. They just now making more money. You think they just gonna go away? No, Trump gonna aim them at the next target. Who the next target? Who bottom on the totem pole? Because everybody that comes to America past us. So us niggas will be next. And remember, like I said earlier, May 29th, we will be next. ICE will be getting us. After they get rid of all the immigrants, they'll be getting us next. We'll be next on the chopping block. You know what I'm saying? Y'all keep falling for, oh man, he pardoned this person. Nah, what happens when he start pardoning these cops and he tell you to sit the fuck down? Because I pardoned your boy Larry Hoover.
The former lead prosecutor in Larry Hoover's federal case, reacting this afternoon with disappointment, telling us there are just some offenders and crimes that are not deserving of clemency, and Hoover falls in that category. But this afternoon, President Trump disagreeing, commuting Hoover's 6 life sentences on federal convictions to time served. Hoover still faces, however, a 200-year state sentence on a 1973 murder conviction, so it appears he won't be getting out of prison, at least in the near term. It was while behind bars serving time for that murder that federal prosecutors say he continued overseeing the Chicago Gangster Disciples, a gang that he co-founded. And in 1997, he was convicted of running a criminal enterprise. But Hoover's attorney says over the years, Hoover has been rehabilitated and written numerous letters talking about his experience, how he turned to crime, and the good he can do in steering young people away from a similar fate.
He is being held because he is a symbol, not because he needs further incarceration or he hasn't been rehabilitated. He's been a model prisoner for many, many years. He's been examined. He has been determined to be no risk.
If Larry Hoover said there was going to be a killing, there was a killing. If Larry Hoover said there was going to be a beating, there was a beating. If Larry Hoover said there was going to be a drug deal, there was a drug deal.
Hoover's case has drawn the attention of a number of advocates and public.
You know, I hope the black community is smarter than what they acting. You know, I hope this is just a one-day thing. Everybody on the internet like, yeah, he may never come home. This is symbolic. This is for when he start pardoning those police that was killing us black folks so we can shut the fuck up. Because, trust me, we will hear this come out of Trump's mouth somewhere down the line. Somewhere down the line, I promise you, he will remind the black community of all the things he did for you. Oh, yeah, man, I got you, Lil Wayne, man. I pardoned him, man. I pardoned Larry Hoover. Watch what I tell y'all. Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. This man... Once again, I supported Trump. I ain't gonna lie. But this man is tricking all of us. You gotta pay attention. Don't let him trick us. Because now, more than ever in America, the black community, we gotta come together, man. We gotta come together. We gotta get rid of the Pookies and the Ray Rays that's shooting up the community and making us look bad. We gotta build our own system, our own banks, our own schools, and we gotta take care of each other. And we gotta say fuck the rest of the world, right? Until we get our shit together. And when we get our shit together, then we come back to the world table and say, yo, listen, this is our seat. We gonna sit at the motherfucking table. We control our shit. We control our spending dollars because we the biggest spenders. In the United States, black folks, the poor folks, we spend the most money on all the fancy shit, all the name brand shit, and Michael Jordan shit, and we don't get nothing in return for that shit, bro. So it's time for us to get together, and like I said, get our shit together, get our community together, have our own schools, have our own banks, have our own businesses, and come up out this slump. I don't know about everybody else out there, but I want to be part of the greatest comeback of all time. And the greatest comeback of all time is the black people rising back to the top. You know, we get mad because people call us niggas, but in the beginning, yeah, they was calling us niggas, but they didn't know back in the day to us niggas, if you looked it up, meant king. So when we was running around calling each other niggas, we was calling each other king. So the other folks took it and thought it was something bad. But in all reality, every time a white motherfucker call you nigga, they praising you. They calling you king. Look it up, Negus. It means king. So pay attention. Stop being fooled. Don't let these people trick us again. We got to come together, spread the word. The black community has to come together and start building. We gotta get rid of all the Pookies and the Ray Rays. We gotta stop praising all these drug dealers and these killers that did more destructions to our communities than the KKK, than police across America. And we gotta get our shit together. Like I say over here, I present you with the facts. I give you my opinion on those facts. If you like that, like the way I do that, hit the like, share, subscribe, hit the bell so you can get notifications every time I do one of these videos or every time I do lives. I'm not good at lives. This I don't do many, but I'm gonna start because that's where it's at. That's where you hit the best people and you get the most bang for your buck. Like I did a live earlier and I had over 300 views. Pretty sure I didn't get that many views now because a lot of people go live, especially West Coast podcasts go live at this time because it's still early over there. So, like I said, man, hit that like, share, subscribe. I mean, it ain't gonna hurt you. It's gonna help the channel. It's gonna tell people, hey, man, the King of Talk over there talking that good shit. The King of Talk over there talking that real shit. If you're a follower of the channel, much respect and love goes out to you. I salute. And if you one of these haters that got tricked and thinking like this is something, cut the shit. That part. And just remember, man, this man probably never come home.